real proud of this, but I've been drinking these long them White Claws. I've talked a lot of about them, but damn, they kind of are nice. By the time I drink 15 beers, I'm so burpy and farty, I might need a spit up. Not a full puke, but a little. I drink liquor the same way I drink beer, and that's fast. Then the only nerd around here having fun is me, and maybe a cop that gets a chance to kick my ass. He's got his taser out as soon as he shows up. Can't say I blame him. All he's heard is that there's a belligerent drunk 6'2" Sasquatch running around, and he is unpredictable at best. There ain't no brakes on this train. Them old claws, yeah, they taste about like you're making out with a cat that has a piece of fruit in its mouth. But I can put 12 of them down in a pretty reasonable amount of time. Take me a good piss, and it's on to the next case. Biggest problem I see with them, though, is the price point. It's a little ridiculous to price a product that high in such economic times. It's arguably the hardest it has ever been out here for a pimp. And one damn case of claws costs you about $20. There ain't no way there's $20 worth of shit in that box.
Alright everybody, welcome back. My name is Raman Wukong. This is your Bitoreum update, and let's jump right into it. We had a little bit of a late start due to a weird SSL issue. Anyway, we had to push back the summer Smartnode giveaway till next month due to scheduling conflicts with the registration software not being compatible on all operating systems. More importantly, ARM-based Linux distros weren't able to use the validation software to say, yes, I have a valid Smartnode. I don't know why my IDE doesn't work on ARM, but anyway, so that'll have to push back till September. It is still a $10 million Bitoreum giveaway, as can be seen in the promotions tab. This month, we are also starting what's called a Bitoreum Get Down promotion. Normally, it'll be either two 1 million Bitoreum giveaways, or if I like the content piece that's generated, it'll be a single winner of 2 million Bitoreum. And how you do that is you either create a piece of social media content and distribute it, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever medium that you want. Let me know by using the hashtag #GetDown, all one word, and if I see it, or if you create a piece of content and I just love the shit out of it, or the community loves the shit out of it, guess what? You're probably going to be a shoo-in for the winner. That'll happen every month. Worst comes to worst, no content's created, and I give away randomly 2 million Bitoreum to those members in the Discord or anybody with the tag #GetDown on any of the common social media that I'm on. Obviously, Discord, that's a given. Let's see here, Twitter, I frequent that much less. Threads, Instagram, I do check those, even though that we don't have an official channel on there and probably won't because of all what's going on over there, but I do monitor them. So yeah, once again, hashtag #GetDown. If I like it, you'll be contacted and you will be the winner of either 1 or 2 million Bitoreum, depending on how well it's received. It'll happen every month this year, and we may continue on that promotion all through next year as well. This month, however, instead of 2 million, we're giving away 5 million, and it has a lot to do with the fact that I had to push back the Smartnode, and that'll be announced next weekend. A little bit more on that. 2 pieces of software have obviously been either updated or created. First, let's get into the one-click compiler. It has officially been renamed Bake for Bitoreum Make. It's cute, I know. This isn't just an internal name change. This is a GitHub repository name change as well. And in there, the branches have been renamed. You have release and dev, short for development. So the main release is always going to be just named release, and then the development branch is always going to be named dev. Only 2 branches for both of these projects, the Bake and the Moonstone application. A little bit on that. Let me launch over here. As you can see, we have the Moonstone video up on the website. You can also follow with us over on our YouTube channel. Scroll down here and yeah, click there. Scroll that real quick. Follow the channel. There will be one coming for Bake as well, which will be an update to the Crystal Bitoreum Builder, right? So this will be an update for that. It won't be the long video like that one was. It'll be a much shorter, abridged video. I thought there was one here. Oh, no, that's just a clean migration. Okay, there will be a new video coming for this as well, which will be for the Moonstone, or I'm sorry, not Moonstone, Bake application, which is the one-click compiler. There's some pretty interesting features, both for industrial users like myself, down to the individual user, giving you a really clean, concise piece of software that just works. There is a new button on our website called Press Releases. This was in order to get recognition from CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, things like that. They wanted to me to announce the new ownership of Bitoreum in a way that met their standards. So that's what this is, and that also gave me the idea that we will also be having a monthly recap on all of the things that have happened in the month, including counting, which is under the transparency portal. As you can see right here, the current development wallet balance is that, and this is what the project has spent or will be spending for the quarter. So right now we're in quarter 3. This is everything related to that, including the Smartnode promotion. This is what is being reserved for the Get Down promotion for the month of August, so on, so forth. Okay, and in there, or in the monthly on Medium, right, because that's the mechanism that we're releasing these on. These will be just like your standard regular real world press releases. The intent here is to get enough good content that hopefully we can be picked up by other reporting agencies and bring attention back to the project, as we have come a long way and we are incredibly stable. Okay, and a little bit more on that. So under software, one thing I did want to point out here, we have changed this. You can't just download the wallet direct from this button anymore. We're getting to the point now that we've got more than one piece. So there has been a software button that has replaced the wallet. This will take you to the release. Right? So instead of taking you to the main GitHub, you can just go right to the release candidate. It has all those there. There should be a footnote about, maybe I didn't save it last night. In here, there is, I've tested this now on Debian. We can't build for Debian 12 plus. The GCC that ships with Debian 12 or newer just explodes on Qt, but the ARM development, or I'm sorry, the generic builds work for both ARM and x86-64. I tested it. I do not have an x86 32-bit system to test on. My suspicion is it will work, but it is untested. Do your own due diligence. But going forward, the generic build should work on Debian, and I will test that going forward. Okay. And the big one of today is we have a new format for videos as they're going to come out and what's going to happen. So if a month has 5 Sundays, hypothetically, the 4th Sunday will always be an off week. We will not be doing a broadcast. So how this is going to work is the first Sunday of the month is major and Bitoreum specific announcements are going to come out, kind of like these. The second Sunday of every month, no announcements are going to come out unless it's like something super critical, like something broke or a new mandatory update has come out, things like that. Outside of that, the second Sunday of every month, there will no longer be a weekly update video. The third Sunday of every month is going to be industry-wide updates. You know, anything from like, PMP Mining could be doing something unique over there, or R-Plant, or Z-Pool, or something like that. Or it could be more like, there's a new hotness, exchange or something like that, a new mining pool or things like that. Or like I would like to do a breakdown on Bowser Labs, late to the game on supporting us, and it was kind of a friend of a friend kind of thing why they do, and much love, but I would love to go into a little bit more of a breakdown. But mixing them in with our regular broadcasts and announcements, I don't think is doing that any justice. So yeah, third Sunday of the month is going to be more industry-wide events, and or failing that, mail in and DM questions. Some of them are really funny. Some of them are great questions. Some of them are just your standard, what the fuck's happening with this? What's happening? Dates, we want updates. Cool. or like sometimes they're personal questions. Sometimes they are just funny questions that I get from people, and I'd really like to share that. So that's what's going to be the third Sunday. Like I said, if there's 5 Sundays in a month, the fourth Sunday will be another off day, like the second Sunday of the month. And then the last Sunday of every month will be winner announcements. Obviously, this Sunday we're going to have up to five announcements for winners for the Get Down bonus, and then hopefully that will progress a little bit further, every month. Hopefully we get a lot more user-generated content. Obviously, the Smartnode giveaway will be announced there, and any other future promotions, it'll always be the last Sunday of the month, unless there's a particular reason I can't make the broadcast. But in general, if it's not Sunday that it happens, there will be a replacement date. Probably not on a Sunday. It'll probably be like the following Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or something to that notion. One of the biggest reasons is that I am an insurance agent, and we are coming up into open enrollment, which in the United States is health insurance. So I'm going to be getting a lot more busy, and the project is fairly stable, and I have to make some pretty big choices on the development path going forward. So I need to focus a little bit more time on that and a little less time on these announcements. Right now, everything's really stable. I've been monitoring it very well, both in the Smartnode department, the overall code, community support, things like that. And obviously the big one was CoinGecko finally accepting us as a legitimate fork. Everything has met their standard, and same thing for CoinMarketCap. Although we are not listed on CoinMarketCap, we need more exchanges, basically. And I am doing some research into that, but it looks like it is going to be a $3,000 to $15,000 investment before we're on CoinMarketCap, which is substantial. The $2,000 mark I might be able to come up with after open enrollment season ends, which will be December or January. December of this year, January of next year, depending on when the commission checks from all that start coming in. That's a pretty big investment. There are a couple of exchanges that have asked and basically said that's kind of the minimum that they do. In there too, some of the qualifiers were, as I made on the announcement on the Discord, I want to have minimal or no KYC. I know that is, globally shifting. There will be more know your customer or KYC in the future, but I do want it at least minimal. There's a lot of exchanges that if you do less than less than $500 or $1,000, you typically don't need to register like a driver's license or home address, or hell, sometimes even email. Just it depends on the exchange. And then over that, they might want your driver's license or some kind of documentation or things like that. Also in the United States, most global exchanges we can't use. Binance is the easiest one to point at. Kraken may fall victim to that in the near future too. Depending on what's going to be happening here in the next 6 months to a year for crypto. Not getting political, just the administration is a very funky way of dealing with crypto, and that has a lot of implications for global markets when dealing with this. So, but anyway, I'm looking at, there's about 10 or so exchanges that kind of meet the, we're a low volume trade coin because for a while it appeared we were abandoned, and truthfully we were. There's a lot to overcome that, so there will be more on exactly how I'm looking to overcome that in the future, but for right now we are only on XBitRon, XBitRon. Also that logo got a little bit of an update so you can see it against the background. There were some complaints about that. I'm also going to change this from a green to match their yellowing. I was just playing around with this color. Same thing for Coin Paprika. You guys did mention that, and so I kind of modified the logo to make it a little bit easier, or at least it stands out. There will be another aggregator here in the next month for Will It Trade, which was, as many of you know, the software I developed for Yearbus. So that way you can kind of, actually, let's see if we can load it. Yeah, this is an old version of the software. It runs, but it's not great. Bitoreum should be here, yep, and Yearbus. There was some special coding to get both these because at the time, neither one of them was on CoinGecko. Bitoreum now is. Yearbus, I think, is not. I have to look into that again. It's been a while, but this software needs to get updated, but that will be coming to our website as well. and I just wanted to show off this in terms of this, it used to be called the one-click compiler or Bitoreum builder, and it's still referenced like that here. I need to update a lot of the documentation, but in terms of like the scripts and things like that, they have all been renamed. I just need to update the documentation to reflect this kind of stuff. Okay, and then the last thing is that, we have a release branch and a development branch, and that is also the same for Moonstone. Trying to standardize these things. See, release and dev. There. Okay. That was a lot. I tried to make the 10-minute mark, and I missed brilliantly. So let's dump over into the Q&A section. Alright, welcome back to Q&A. I really only have 2 questions that were asked to me this last week. One is, why have I been kind of absent lately? A lot of it has to do with the time of the year that it is. I have, another week and a half until all of my documentation to sell Medicare specifically, but to be recertified for selling health insurance for this year's AEP, or annual election period as we call it here in the United States. We only have a limited amount of time that you can even sign up for health insurance, as dumb as that is. And it basically runs, for Medicare, it's October 15th through December 7th, and for everybody else it's November 1st through December 31st. So a little bit of factoid there for those not in the United States. Point is, I get incredibly busy around this time of year. Right now it's for the educational and training to make sure that everything is passed. I have my licenses and qualifications. This year too, I have licenses that are expiring that I need to renew, so I'm going to have to take a little bit more time to do that too. They're not particularly complicated. It's mostly a money issue, but it is something that I have to physically sit down and do, it is what it is. And then, of course, the other thing is that some of you may know, I have taken it's a gig job, but it's fun, and it pays a lot of the bills around here, and that is, I'm a medical courier with the classification as biological, hazardous, and body part courier service. I know it sounds pretty messed up. Basically, I'm authorized to transport urine, blood, semen, heart, lung, kidney, and erroneous body parts that need to be transferred. Oh, and the blood changes. It used to be just blood samples. Now I do bloods for transfusions, which are kind of neat. Basically, there's an emergency need for blood some, 50 miles, 100 miles, 180. I think the max is 200 miles. Anything more than 200 miles, and they fly it out. But under 200 miles, they give it to a driver. I've been doing that, and it pays well, let's just say. It's not consistent, but that is what has been taking up a lot of my time. So sometimes I just drop everything and do those, particularly when you got to do 200 miles, because 200 miles in a straight shot, which means I have to drive 200 miles straight, can't make any stops or detours unless they're sanctioned by American Red Cross, which is normally who I pick it up from, even to go to the bathroom. Now, once I drop off, it's a different story, but a lot of the times I just disappear for hours on end. That's what I'm doing. So that coupled with my normal job, unfortunately, because the way that the United States is right now, I lost a lot of my group contracts, which are companies that have just gone out of business, and I've had to supplement that income, and it's a fun job. It makes a lot of money. Unfortunately, it does pull a little bit of my attention out of here. And that kind of leads into the next question. Are you giving up on Bitoreum? Hell no. No, I'm here to stay. You're going to have to pry Bitoreum from my cold dead hands, or give me a development team that is better suited to this than I am, and I am confident that they will run it. Not just run it the way I want to, but run it well. I don't want to give this project to anybody that's just going to pump and dump or abandon it 6 months or a year later. But the reality is, you guys have got me until I'm dead, pretty much. I don't see myself really stepping down from this project, unless there's a really good reason to. If I can find a master team of developers that are just like, fuck yes, we love this project, we want to continue it on, and we'll carry the torch for you. If it gets to that point, absolutely. But until then, nope, I'm here. But my time does have to be budgeted a little bit better because, I am an insurance agent. I now do this medical courier stuff, which does take time out of my day, anywhere between 3 and 6 hours. And it's random. It could be right now. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. It could be midnight. It could be 5 o'clock at night. It's super random, so it's hard to tell. Anyway, those were the two big questions I had, or that I received. If there are any question and answers, I don't see anything. Huh. Sorry, I did get a question, but it's not related to this. Sorry, I had to send off a text message. We had a server failure, and I've noticed that we've had the website got hit with an SSL failure. I had to reissue the SSL certificate. Weirdness going down today for sure. Anyway, those are the two big questions. Sorry for the late start today. It's the SSL certificate stuff that was actually giving me problems. That's why we didn't start directly at 2. For all other questions, concerns, you can always follow us over at the Discord. Hit us up. It's all gravy. I will see you all next week with the announcers for the first Get Down giveaway up to 5 million Bitoreum. Could be either 5 lucky winners or 4 lucky winners, depending on if one of you can create a super piece of content on social media. Anyway, that does it for me. I will see you all next week. Have a great week.